Here we are going to discuss Algebra 2, completing the square of the quadratic when a is greater than 1. So it reads, completing the square when a is greater than 1 has several more added steps than what we previously studied. The main point is that you can only open that curved bracket followed by x plus if a is equal to 1. Okay, so you can only start calculating p when a is equal to 1. That's the whole idea. You can only begin calculating p and q when a is equal to 1. So the following are some brief steps that can be followed to do such an operation where a is more than 1. After you have perfected the skill, you can skip several of these steps to save time. Steps to convert ax squared plus bx plus c with a greater than 1 to a open bracket x plus b all squared plus q. Remember we said we can only open that bracket in order to calculate p when a is equal to 1. But we're starting if a is greater than 1, so something must be done so that a has to be 1. Okay, so then to allow us to open the bracket. So the first step now is to identify a, b, and c. Step number 2 says to use square brackets to factor out a from ax squared plus bx plus c. How do you do that? You write down a, you open a square bracket, and you divide a throughout. You divide a by ax squared plus ax squared. You divide bx by a. You divide ax squared by e. You divide b by e, bx by e, and you divide c by e. So now a now was divided out from ax squared. So you're going to have 1x squared, but you're going to have a new b, a b over a, and you're going to have a new c, a c over e. And that will be step number 2. So please take note the importance of this step is to factor out a from ax squared so that the coefficient of a of x squared will be 1. Okay, and this now will permit us to go to step 3. We can complete the square of this new quadratic that is inside of the square bracket because it has a new b and a new c, and it doesn't have a anymore. It has only 1 x squared. All right, in the square bracket where a is 1. So you can do that inside or outside the square bracket. You can keep it inside the square bracket or do it outside of the square bracket. But for number 4 now, you have to multiply by a now to clear all the square brackets, and you're going to get a final answer with a number which will be a outside of that curved bracket, and you're going to have your new completed square. And you have to simplify to find a new q, if you want to put it that way. Not new c, new q. So here's an example, 2x squared plus 12x plus 7. As you notice now, a is not equal to 1, a is equal to 2. So as you can see now, we have to cancel out that 2 from outside there. We have to factor out that 2 from x squared. So you write down 2 and you open a square bracket and you divide 2 by 2, 12 by 2, 7 by 2 inside the square brackets. 2 by 2 is 1, so now we have 1x squared. 12 by 2, 12 divided by 2 is 6, so now we have a new b, and 7 divided by 2, 3.5, we have a new c. So now we complete the square of x squared plus 6x plus 7 over 2. P will be b over 2, p is going to be 3, and q now will be negative 3 squared plus c, that new c there, 7 over 2. Okay, and then you have x plus 3 all squared minus 9 plus 7 over 2, because 6 over 2 is 3, 3 squared is 9, minus 9 plus 7 over 2, minus 9 plus 7 over 2 is minus 11 over 2. And now, remember that step we said? Here, multiply by a to clear all the square brackets and simplify to find a new q. Not new c, the new q. Because q we find in here because that's a completed square. So we multiply 2 by that curve, by that open bracket, so it will be A will always remain in front of the open bracket, and then 2 by minus 11 over 2. That's 22 over 2 minus 11. So now we have the completed square of 2x squared plus 12x plus 7. So here's an example, 3x squared minus 12x plus 15. A is 3, B is negative 12, and C is 15. So we've got to cancel out that 3 in front of the x squared by factoring it out. So we put it out of an open square bracket, and we divide by 3 throughout. So we have 3 divided by 3, negative 12 divided by 3, and 15 divided by 3. And we are left with x squared minus 4x plus 5 in the square bracket with 3 outside of the square bracket. So now we can complete the square of that new quadratic, that simplified quadratic inside of the square bracket, x squared minus 4x plus 5. So let us focus on x squared minus 4x plus 5. So now we maintain the square bracket and we are working inside that square bracket. So now we can open the curved bracket because A is 1. And x now minus, we're going to find p now. We just divide b by 2, that new b, negative 4 divided by 2. Close the square bracket, minus, always minus, okay? And we have to square p, okay? And then add to c, that new c there, all right? So now what we've got negative 4 divided by 2 is 2. Negative 4 divided by 2 is 2 squared, that's 4. And that negative sign have to stay outside there. So we have negative 4 plus 5, take out 4 plus 5. From 5, we get 1. And now we have to clear that square bracket. Don't forget, we have to clear that square bracket by multiplying 3 multiplied to that curved bracket. It will stay outside there. And 3 multiplied to that 5, to that 1, sorry. 3 multiplied to that 1. And this is supposed to be 3. So that 3 you now have to multiply to the result. Minus 4 plus 5 is 1. So that's going to be 1, which is still inside the square bracket, and we have to multiply 3 by 1. So this is supposed to be 3. And that's just an arrow. So that's the answer. That's supposed to be 3. So this supposed to be 3. 3 outside of x minus 2 all squared plus 3.